So right now, while you're watching this video, this very moment, this very hour, there is someone in your exact industry, same skills, guess what? Same experience, maybe even less qualified than you are, who is making an extra $10,000, $20,000, $5,000 per month, packaging what they already know. And you, what are you doing? You are still trading your hours for dollars, waiting for a promotion that may never come. Sitting on a gold mine, you are calling it a LinkedIn profile. Now, here is what nobody is telling you about your corporate job. You are not just an employee. You are a walking, talking, problem-solving machines that companies are currently hiring for way less than you're worth. So in the next 12 minutes, I'm going to show you exactly how to take those skills that you're already using from Monday through to Friday and turn them into a $2,000 offer that people will happily pay you for. I'm not talking about quitting your job. I'm not talking about spending 40 hours a week creating content. Just a simple framework that works. But I need you to do something for me first. Stop thinking about what you do. Start thinking about what you solve. Now, before we get into this, let me tell you why this matters today, not 6 months from now. Here is my good client called Dee. She spent over 2 decades in the corporate world, talking about an HR executive, board position, the whole 9-yard thing, you understand? And she was literally planning to retire. And guess what? Andrea goats. Think about it, goats. And that is what she thought her intellectual property was worth. Then I met her. I asked her one question that changed everything for her. I hope it does the same for you. Why are you trading your genius for goats? At a counter with Dockers led me to Create Beyond Office, where I have helped everyone from CPAs to insurance executives to HR professionals to tech leaders, packaging what's already in their heads into offers that generate real income. Okay, like CPA Rose Adem, seasoned financial executive, 18 years of experience, who created a financial reporting clarity insight program. Or Catherine Mahome, who built her insurance leadership accelerator offer. But here's what's wild. None of them thought what they knew was valuable enough to sell. I don't know if this sounds familiar, I hope. Because that's about to change right now. See, here's the trap most corporates or corporate professionals fall into. And I'm talking about the competent ones. Not the people who are phoning it for a paycheck. I'm talking about the competent ones. You see, you are good at what you do. You are really good. You solve complex problems. You've got frameworks that saves your companies millions. I mean, you have developed systems that other people could spend 3 lifetimes. But when someone asks you, what do you offer? Guess what happens? You freeze up like a laptop that just got Windows update that didn't ask for. But here's what I want you to know. This is what's even worse. You start thinking that, you see, what you offer needs to be maybe build some massive course with 47 modules, or you need to quit your job fast, or you know what, or become an expert, even though you've been one for years. Or you know, you need to learn some complicated funnel system, or start posting on LinkedIn 47 times a day. See, none of that is true. None of that is true. So none of that is true. The real issue isn't that you don't know enough. Let's face it. The real issue is that you don't know how to package what you already know. That is the real package. Packaging it into something that people can buy. I mean, that is the real challenge. And there is a big difference here. I want you to understand it. It's like having a diamond in your pocket and thinking it's just a shiny rock because nobody taught you how to recognize its value. That is the challenge. So let me tell you what I'm not going to do in this video. I'm not going to tell you to find your passion. That's not something I'm going to do. I'm not going to tell you to create a vision board. I'm not going to tell you to manifest abundance or whatever the internet is selling this week. What I'm going to do, which I want you to listen to me carefully, what I'm going to do is something that King Solomon figured out 3,000 years ago. Think about it, 3,000 years ago. It's a little bit interesting. Yeah, I'm getting a little bit biblical on you, but stay with me because it's getting interesting. See, Solomon didn't hold his wisdom. Think about that. Solomon didn't hold his wisdom. He architected its distribution. He figured out how to distribute it. He had free content. His proverbs and songs, there were thousands of them. He had a core offering, a private audience with leaders who traveled to come and see him. And then he had a premium experience. I'm talking about counseling kings and queens. And he had a retention system. They came year after year. See, I don't want to sound like someone or something that you know. That's right. Every successful company does the same thing. Look at Apple, for example. It does the exact same thing in distributing their offers. What does it do? Free keynote and tutorials that causes awareness. iPhones and iPads, that is their core product. If you look at MacBook Pros and Vision Pros, those are their premium. If you look at the iCloud and the ecosystem lock-in, those are retentions. They do the very same thing in distributing their offers. So your corporate skills deserve the same architecture. And I'm about to show you how to build it. I don't know whether this is getting exciting. All right, so here is the framework that changes everything. I call it the two-phase offer builder for busy professionals. Are you a busy professional? This is for you. Now, phase one is about clarity and phase two is about conversion. Now, most people tend to skip phase one. And why? Wonder why their offer or why nobody's buying what they're offering. So it's like you trying to sell a car to someone who doesn't know the need for transportation. You are not going to go so far with that. Think about it. You are selling a car to someone who doesn't know the need for transportation. So in this, let us look at phase one. Phase one is what I refer to as refining your concept. Refining your concept. This is where you stop being vague and you start being valuable. What do I mean? So for us to appreciate or for you to understand this phase one, I've broken it down into, I think, 3 to 4 steps. Step one, I wanted to answer the question of who specifically do you help? Yes, who specifically do you help? This is serious. Because it's not everyone who needs help with, say, X. Or not every professional who, so be settled, be in one place. Not every professional who wants to have more of what. I mean, think about who. Now, to bring clarity, think about Rose, CPA, who is my client. She doesn't help non-profits with financial stuff. She doesn't do that. She helps non-profit leaders who are drowning in donor reporting requirements and getting roasted by their board because their financial reports looks like it was made in 1997. You see the difference? It's very specific who. So you must notice that difference and you must be ready to be so clear about your who. That's step number one. Step number two, what's the tangible result they get? What is the tangible result they get? Not things like more confidence. or not things like better skills. In other words, what measurable outcome do you achieve? Do they achieve? That is step 2. So for us, it is a clean, assured, board and donor ready financial reporting in 30 days. See, it's very clear, very measurable. That brings us to step number 3. What's your method? What's your method? And this is the secret sauce. This is what makes your offer different from any other person teaching the very same thing. You need to name your method. Yes, you need to name your method. You have to give it a framework. Make it sound like something that came from a research, not a weekend brainstorming session. Why? Solomon had his wisdom distribution system I talked about earlier. Apple has its ecosystem. Even you need yours. This is very key and this is very important. This is step number 3. So you need to have a method. Could it be the clarity trifactor? You can decide to call it like that. Is it the comeback code, like my client Catherine Oshako? Could it be the financial visibility framework? So just make it sound credible, also memorable and specific. So that is part 1, and I hope you took notice of the 3 steps. Now part 2 is what we call the offer structure, but because we are in this video, I'm talking about the 2K, that's the $2,000 offer. So let's look at the $2,000 offer structure. Now, because here's what most people mess up. This is where most people mess up. They think that a $2,000 offer needs to be so huge, needs to be complicated, needs to even to be overwhelming. Wrong. A $2,000 offer needs to solve one specific painful problem that your ideal client is already losing sleep over. Think about it. One specific big problem that your client, your ideal client, your who is already losing sleep over. So let me break down, I think it would be better for me to break it down so that into components, what would go into a $2,000 offer. So let's call it components. So component number 1, this is the exact component. Component number 1 is your core training. That's like the what. And this is, for example, maybe 4 to 6 weeks of focused modular content. I'm talking about what are you going to teach? So look at it, let it be between 4 to 6 weeks of modular content. In other words, in modules. Not 47 videos, not a year-long program. It should be 4 to 6 weeks. Now, why is it important? Because each week, now this is important. So, why is it important? Because each week covers one specific part of your method. In other words, every week handles a phase of your method. That's it. For example, if I'm helping HR professionals create better onboarding systems. Now, I'm not an HR, I'm just giving this as an example. What might the 4 weeks look like? Week 1, maybe audit your current system. That's where I would start from. Week 2, build the 90-day framework. That is now week 2. Week 3, create the content framework, templates. And then maybe week 4 is implement and measure results. So I'm again giving this as an example. Don't be on my case, say, coach, you are not very accurate. Yes, I'm not an HR professional. But notice what is important is this. Every week has a deliverable. And they're not just learning, they are building something. So every week there is something tangible that they are building. So that's component number 1, the what. Component number 2, we want to look at what are the implementation tools, like the how, the implementation tools. So this is where you add templates, you add checklists, you add resources that make it easy for them to apply what you are teaching. In other words, busy professionals or experts, whatever, they don't have time to figure things out. So you really want them to just fill in the blanks. So give them the exact email templates that they need, the spreadsheet that you use, the presentation desk framework, the audit checklist, the decision matrix. You see, make it very easy so that even though they are tired and about to go to sleep or to go to bed, they are able to just, plug in and get things moving. So component number 2 is the implementation. I hope you're following. Component number 1, we talked about the core training, and component number 2, we are talking about the implementation tool. So let's look at component 3. So component 3 is the support structure. In other words, this is the safety net. What do I mean by this? So here's the difference between a $500 offer and a $2,000 offer. Is one thing called access. Now, when I'm talking about access, I'm not talking about 24/7 unlimited access. Even though you are sleeping, they are just calling. No, message me anytime. No, that's not what I'm talking about. I'm talking about a structured, private, predictable access. A structured and predictable access. What does this entail? Maybe a private community on WhatsApp, like a WhatsApp group. Maybe a weekly Q&A calls, which is between maybe 30 to 1 hour. Maybe response time commitment. You say when you put out something, we're going to respond within 24 hours. You see, so that is it. Because you're not a therapist, you are their guide. So you're not going to be there and say, I'm offering my life 24/7. No, that's not the access I'm talking about. Right, so that's component number 3. Component number 4, the outcome promise. This is huge. The outcome promise. This is what they can show as a result of working with you. Yes, what can they show as a result of working with you? Not that you will feel more confident, don't say that. Not that you learn new skills, don't promise that. No. Talk about things like you'll have a complete onboarding system that you can implement on Monday. You see, talk about something like a reporting framework that the board will approve. Talk about something like a leadership training program that they can sell their company. Talk about something like an insurance strategy that clients will thank them for. You see, it has to be something very specific, very measurable. Something tangible that they can point out to and say, yes, now this is what I have been able to achieve. Now, with that said, let me hint a bit about the pricing psychology, because it's very key. So here is the pricing psychology. You are not charging $2,000 for your time. No, this is huge. You are not charging for your time. You are charging $2,000 because what they are building with you is worth $20,000 to either their career or their business or their company. I hope you get that. You see, you are not charging $2,000 for your time because you're beginning to think, coach, but then $2,000 for my time is not worth. No, you are charging $2,000 because what you're building with them is worth $20,000 to either their career, if you're working to help their career, to their business, if you're working with their business, or to their company. So if you are, say, let's think about your HR system. If your HR system saves a company $50,000, think about it. If your HR system saves a company $50,000 in their turnover cost, then $2,000 is a steal. It is nothing. If your financial reporting framework helps a non-profit organization secure a $500,000 grant that they would have missed, then $2,000 is nothing. You see, so your price is based on the transformation, not on the information. This is key, and this is very huge. Right. So this will bring me to a big concern. Because in your head I can hear it. Now you are thinking, and I can hear it through the screen. You're now thinking, but Coach Richard, I'm not an expert. There are people who know more than me, who will even buy my program. Now, listen carefully. You don't have, or you don't need to be the top expert. You simply need to be one step ahead. You simply need to be one step ahead. Ahead of who? Ahead of that person struggling with that financial reporting. You are not competing with the big four accounting companies or accounting firms. You are competing with their current frustration and that Excel sheet they have been using since 2008. That is what you're competing with. So you are the guide who has been where they are. And now you know the way out. That's all you need to be. You are simply a guide that has been where they are, and now you know the way out. And I can hear you saying, but coach, yes, now that makes sense, but I don't have testimonials yet. Neither did Solomon have when he started. Did Solomon have any testimonial? Can you remember what he did? He gave away wisdom for free until people came looking for him. And that's what you need to do too. He did not have any testimonial, but he gave away wisdom until people came to look for him. So ideally, when we are looking at, and this is why in phase one, I talked about the fact that you need content, you need value, you need teaching. You don't need testimonials when you're demonstrating your expertise in real time. I mean, if you're out there telling someone that do this to achieve this, they don't need your testimonial. But then you're saying, oh, coach, I hear you, but then I don't have time. I'm already working 50 hours a week. Perfect. That's exactly why you need this. Why? Because this isn't about adding more work. It's about packaging the work you're already doing in your head. You're already doing the work. That's why you're working the 50 hours. You're already solving the problems for your employee. You're already creating the system. You're already answering the questions. You're already doing this. What's the difference? You are not just getting paid separately for it. That is why we are coming in. So my two-phase of a builder is designed specifically for people like you. If you feel you're competent, a competent professional who you don't have time to become maybe a content creation machine, I hear you. I understand you. Because here is it. Why not create it once and then sell it multiple times? Is that not leverage? You just go in, create the offer once, and then sell it multiple times. No better leverage than that. So where are we? You could say, oh, and I could spend all my day trying to explain to you how this works. But let me show you. Let me show you in real life. My client Rose Adem has 18 years in finance. She created her financial reporting clarity program. She's now helping non-profits get their reporting right. How about my other client, Catherine Wahome, insurance executive, FCII certified. But she created her insurance leadership accelerator. She's now training the next generation of insurance professionals. How about Ruth Wangui? CP and HR manager, created the Authentic Living program. Is now helping burned out professionals find work that aligns with who they are. How about Catherine Oshako, former head tech who got fired? Guess what she did? She turned that path, that experience into her comeback, and is now helping women rise after betrayal and dismissal. You see, and by the way, here's the thing. Every single one of them started exactly where you are. You are competent, experienced, sitting on valuable knowledge, but unsure how to package it. The difference is this: they stopped waiting for permission and started building. And here's what is wild: most of them are still working in their jobs. So this isn't about burning bridges. It's about building wealth from what you already know while you are still working. I mean, while you are still doing that, while you still have the connections, while people still pick your phones. So really, here's what should happen next at this point. You have two choices. Choice number one, you could close this video, go back to LinkedIn, begin scrolling through job postings, and keep hoping someone will finally pay you what you're worth. That is choice one. Or choice two, you can take what you have learned in the last few minutes and start packaging your first offer this week, not next month. Not when you feel ready, not when you have everything figured out. This week, I'm talking about this week, because here's what I know about competent professionals. You don't fail because you're not good enough. You fail because you overthink until opportunity passes. So here, this is my challenge to you. In the next 48 hours after listening to this video, I want to answer these three questions in the comments, because I will be able to respond to your comment individually. One, I want you to answer, who specifically do you help? That's like taking the first step. Who specifically do you help? Number two, what measurable outcomes do you help them to achieve? And number three, what's the one big problem that you solve? I want you to do that now. So drop the answers in the comment below. I will personally review them and I will give you feedback. See, that is a step. That's taking a step forward. That is acting by faith. So, but if you want my complete two-phase offer builder framework, and you want not just that, but you want the templates, you want the pricing strategy, you want the exact launch sequence I use with these clients I've been talking about in my Beyond Office program, I'm dropping a link in the description and in the pinned comment section of this very video. I want you to get into that link, click that link, and join me in a program, join me in a workshop and in a challenge where I can be able to help you achieve that. Because your wisdom is not meant to stay trapped in just a corporate job description. Hear me this. That's not where your wisdom is meant to be. You are designed to lead. You are designed to teach. You are designed to transform beyond just a job title. Remember, Solomon built a kingdom with wisdom. You too can build a legacy, a wealth with yours. You already have the wisdom. So the question isn't, am I capable? That's not the question. The question is whether you are willing to package what you already know and let the world pay for it. That is the question. So if you got value from this video, smash the like button and subscribe. If you've not yet subscribed, please don't take a second, subscribe. Why? Because we are building something specifically for you, something quite serious here. Why? We are helping corporates just like you, corporate professionals, turn their expertise into income without sacrificing their sanity. That is what we are doing. And then drop your three answers in the comment. I'm reading every single one of them. I am going to be responding to you directly. And remember, don't trade your genius for gods. Don't trade your genius for gods. The next chapter is waiting for you to own it. I will see you in that next one.